Welcome back, everybody. This is Lesson 6, Small Groups at Grace. Lesson 6, Stages in Group Life. So, print out that handout, get the notes in front of you. We'll walk through some of the highlights of this. This can be really helpful to understand that your group is not static. It's going to be moving and changing and growing. It's going to go through stages of development. Let me get my highlighter going. Stages of development. Every group, healthy group, is gonna change and grow over time. So the last thing we want is for you to be shocked and surprised by this as a leader. Okay, so we're gonna go through some of these stages and try to understand them a little bit. Okay, this is description, not prescription. In other words, it might happen, it might not happen. Or some of these stages you might be in and out of real quick, and you might go backwards and forwards and in and out of these stages, depending on what's going on with your group. Okay? So don't let any of this be like rules to follow. That's not what I'm giving you now. I'm not giving you rules to follow. I'm just trying to show you the natural life cycle of a small group so that as you're going through it, you're not shocked and surprised by how things go. Okay, so stage number 1, the bonding stage. All right, so in this stage, there's excitement. There's everybody's happy to be there, but there's also a little anxiety. Do I belong here? Can I trust? So everybody's trying to kind of figure it out at this stage. This is my smiley face. This is my kind of like in between. I don't know what's going on face there. Your job as the leader is to make people feel relaxed and welcomed and safe. Okay, so in the early stage 1, as we're just figuring each other out, you set the tone for a safe place. People need to be able to know that they can be honest in your group. Okay, so the leader, you're making known the purpose of the group. You are yourself personally being honest and sharing honestly with the group. You're not forcing closeness. You got to let it come. It's going to come slowly, but you got to let it come naturally. Okay? You're going to ask people in the early stages when we're still trying to figure it all out. You're going to ask people to share their past more than their present. Okay? So not what struggles are you having right now, but maybe, how have you struggled with that in the past? Because people are going to have a far easier time talking about something that is in their past and maybe they've overcome or moved past. They're going to be more willing to talk about that than they are the current ongoing addiction or relational issue that they're having in their house tonight when they get home from your group. Okay? Remember, anytime you get a new member, you're kind of jumping back into stage 1. Okay? So add a new member, your group might be clicking and doing great. You get a new person, we slam on the brakes, and we're kind of back to that like, we're feeling each other out stage. All right. This is stage 1. That's an exciting stage. It's a good place to be, and it can be nerve-wracking. You can feel like you're never going to get it right, but you will. It'll come. It takes time. You can be in that stage for weeks and weeks, even months, before people really start to feel comfortable with each other. Stage 2, the growing deeper stage. Okay, in this stage, our honeymoon is over. Right? The personalities are starting to come out. And you might even start to notice that there's people in the group that are very different. And so they might even already be starting to clash a little bit. Okay? People are deciding if they want to commit at this point. Do I really want to be in this group or not? And that's okay. And maybe they decide they don't, and that's fine. You're going to help them find a new group, or you're going to continue to work with them or pray with them and for them. You might see some inconsistency at this stage as people are trying to figure it out. The overly critical and needy members of your group are going to start to emerge. The people that, as they've gotten more comfortable, they're letting you know all of their problems and all of their needs, and they might start to dominate your group in this growing deeper phase. We're deciding if we can trust. Can I trust the leader? Can I trust her? Can I trust him? Can I trust that couple? I don't know if I can. And so this is the stage where we're figuring that out. But the good news is our Bible study is probably starting to get a little deeper too, and getting richer and fuller. And you're starting to develop an interdependent community where we are knowing each other and we're starting to meet each other's needs. We're starting to actually pray specifically, maybe outside the group, like at church. We see each other and we're talking more. We don't just talk at group time, we talk at other times. And so we're becoming interdependent. Okay, as the leader, you want to help everyone become a constructive member of the group, especially those extra talkative, extra needy people in the group. You're going to help people gauge honesty. How honest is the leader? That decides how honest I can be. So as the leader, honest, open. You know, you don't have to share every detail of everything you've ever done and all your mistakes. But you need to open up a little bit as the leader, because that's how other people are going to open up. Well, why do any of us have to open up, Brady? Why do you keep saying we need to be open? Because if we're not open, then the Word of God and the Spirit of God aren't going to work on us. They're not going to change us. They're not going to transform us. So that is how Christ moves, as we are able to talk through and speak through what's going on in our own lives. The group must become our group. Right? So you're listening for this. If it's like, oh, Brady, your group, Brady's group. No, it's our group. And hopefully you're going to hear that language start to change. Right? The group. When's the group going to get together? If somebody in your group sees you on a different day and they say, hey, Brady, when's your group getting together? Uh-oh, that's a problem. It's not Brady's group. It's our group. When is our group going to get together? When's that thing our group's doing? When were we supposed to go pray together? When were we supposed to go serve together? And so you want it to start feeling like our group. We want to help people not become defensive when people leave or drop out of the group. Okay, so we're helping the group to process that. In this stage, we're going to have people that are going to decide to leave, decide to drop out. And so we have to help the other group members process that loss and not be defensive about it. Okay, third stage. Oh, this is the beautiful. Here we go. The beautiful stage, mutual ministry. Now we're at a place where people are committed to the group. The members, maybe you're still getting new members, but you got those folks that are really committed. They're looking past their own needs. They're starting to meet the needs of others. There's genuine sharing. There's good one anothering taking place at this point. They're praying for each other. They know each other. They know what's going on. They know the names of each other's kids. They know where each other work. They know the details of what they face, each of us faces each day. But we also might have deeper disagreements deeper problems to deal with. People might be starting to reveal deeper levels of struggle in their life or deeper suffering that they're walking through. And so one person might begin to dominate. We might see that at this point, there's that one person whose life is going through something a little bit more stressful than everybody else, and they are starting to dominate the group. What about you, the leader? In this third phase, the mutual ministry phase, what are you experiencing? What are you doing? You are probably going to start to feel the emotional ups and downs, because what's going to happen in this stage is that, some weeks group's just going to be group. Nothing amazing, no big breakthrough. It kind of just felt like the thing we do. It kind of felt like we just had the same conversations we always have. And you're going to have groups that are great, and you're going to have small groups that are not so great. And so you're going to start to feel that, and you're going to start feeling emotional ups and downs connected to your group. You want to be aware of that's coming. And then you might need to make some minor adjustments to your group. What can we do differently? What can we try? Can we try something new or different to kind of liven things up? And a big part of that might be having other people help take leadership roles within the group. So an apprentice leader, who in my group at this stage 3, I'm starting to think, who in this group can lead this group if I'm not here? Who in this group could start their own group and take over? And so I'm starting to think about that. I'm starting to identify that. Okay? We want to not rest in our success at this point, because, mostly smiley faces over here. The group's going good. The group's going well. So we don't want to rest in that. We maybe are going to add some special things to the group, getting together outside. Maybe we go to dinner. Maybe we all go hiking together. We're adding things to our group. And we're also starting to look outside of ourselves. How can our group serve together? How can we do outreach? How can we care about the community? How can we help the church? Okay, and then number 4, stage 4, multiplication. Now the group is ready to multiply. Now the group is ready maybe to become 2 separate groups. Why? Because my apprentice is ready. My apprentice is ready. So I'm starting to cast the vision. I'm preparing the group for that. And we're looking at who can go out with the apprentice. How have I developed my apprentice? I've asked them to do all the things that I do. I've asked them to check the physical space. I've asked them to guide the conversation. I've asked them to lead the prayer time. I've asked them to keep track of people during the week. And so I know that they can do it. And this is months, maybe years of doing this, where you're guiding somebody along in order to lead a group. And so now they're ready. And so stage 4, multiplication. Yay, we did it. We've done what we're called to do. We've equipped a leader, and that leader is flying the nest, and they're going to make disciples who make disciples who make disciples. But you know what? Sometimes a group will come to an end, won't it? Stage 5, ending a group. Sometimes groups will end without multiplying, without the joy of multiplying. Maybe people move away. Maybe the group just fizzles out. Maybe the leader has to step down and nobody else steps up, takes his or her place. Maybe the group has just kind of lost their ability to disciple one another, to speak the truth in love. Maybe there's just too much conflict. These things happen. We should never see this as a failure. We have to trust that if our group has to come to an end, it's sad, but God used your group. You are not a failure as a leader. You didn't blow it. God uses it. The success of your group is not your success, it's God's. And the failure of a group, we're not even calling it that, remember? But a group that has to end, that's God. That's God's work. And God used that group. And we should be grateful and thankful and look back on it and say, wow, God did amazing things in that group. And so then what do? We help people to find, we celebrate the group, and we help people to find a new group. We're there for them to guide them into another community, into a different ministry, into a different place where they can grow in community together. How do we develop group loyalty as a leader? Just a few things here. These are basics. But first of all, sincerity. Cultivating sincerity as a leader. Authentic concern for the people in your group. Loving them. Caring for them, praying for them. You, as a group leader, people will be loyal to the group. They'll want to come back to the group. They won't be skipping every other week and dropping out and, I don't know if I can make it. Maybe I can make it. If they know that you love them and care about them as a person, I'm pretty sure they're going to prioritize coming to group and being part of that community. Encouragement. Telling people, encouraging people about how important and valuable they are. Don't overdo it. Be honest. Don't overdo it. You're not gushing over people, but you're just encouraging them. You're letting them know, hey, you're important to me. Follow up. If somebody's new to your group, call them. Reach out to them. Follow up with people in your group, semi-regularly. Talk to them at times other than group time. So send a text. It's real simple. Send a text or use some other social media app to connect with your group members and follow up with them on things. Follow up with those prayer requests. Follow up with those situations that are going on in their lives. Here's a big one. You want loyalty in your group? Be punctual. Begin and end on time. Begin and end on time. Bad habits will start immediately, I promise you. The very first week of your group, probably, you're going to say, we're starting at 7. And 7:05, 7:10, 7:15. Start at 7. As much as you can, start on time, end on time. Start, if not everybody's there, start. So only 3 of the 6 are there. We're already going through, how's everybody doing? We've already started reading the passage. If there's 2 of us there, we're reading the passage and we're going. And then as people come in, they can jump in. No shame, no guilt. Just get them in. Come sit down. We're in Genesis chapter 22. We're reading Abraham and Isaac. All right, let's keep going. And we keep going, and then we just bring them in if they get there late, we bring them in. We end on time as best we can. We're trying to say, if we're calling it a 90-minute group, let it be a 90-minute group. If it's an hour-long group, let it be an hour-long group. And if you need to reevaluate that, you can. And if you need to tweak how long you spend on things, then you need to do that. Keep asking yourself, why would people want to invest in this group? Why is this group a worthwhile investment of people's time? Is this group changing their life? Is this group ministering to them? Are they finding an outlet for love and service and ministry in the group? Develop friendships in your group. It's okay. Yes, you can be friends with the people in your group. That's allowed. Just in case you were wondering. You are allowed. You're allowed to hang out. You're allowed to get ice cream together or go to Starbucks together. You're allowed to go to ball games together. You're allowed to be friends. You should be friends. That's a beautiful thing. Mutual support. Get everybody communicating with each other. Maybe you set up a buddy system within the group, especially if the group's getting a little bigger. Got 8, 10 people. Maybe you pair them off. You 2 ladies, you're going to check up on each other during the week. You 2 going to check up on each other during the week. So mutual support is going on. And then, like we've already said, we're developing leaders. We're developing, we're sharing leadership in the group. Don't be so proud that you feel like you're the only one that can do what you do. You're not. You're not. Anybody in your group could probably lead your group. So ask them to. Get them to lead your group. Encourage them to share leadership. And then finally, consider a covenant, writing a group covenant. Here at Grace, we don't require this. We don't tell you that you have to do this. But sometimes it can be a good idea to help everybody to understand the purpose of the group and the level of expectation within the group. And so maybe there's just 5 or 6 things on that covenant. As a group, we will, and we're listing these things that we're going to do, and everybody signs that group covenant. That can be something that can be mutually beneficial to you as the leader, to everybody in the group. Kind of keep that vision in front of them as we go. Okay, congratulations. You have finished small group leader training here at Grace. This is our last and final video. Unless we add more in the future, we shall see. But go ahead and find that last quiz for lesson 6, stages of group life. Take that quiz, and if you feel like you're ready to go, you're ready to launch into the wild and wonderful world of leading a small group, the next step is to contact myself or one of the other pastors and let us know that you have done the training, you've taken all the quizzes, and you want to go ahead and start a small group. And we'll sit down and we'll talk to you, probably listen to your testimony, and we're going to get you started and get you going. If you're excited, we're excited. All right, so find that quiz, take that quiz. Thanks for being part of our training. We love you. We'll be praying for you. We hope to see you leading a group soon.